just two friends talking about movies and TV and everything in between. We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, well, man, we have a lot to talk about, but it would be kind of weird if we didn't first start off with the news of the sad passing of Rob Reiner and his wife. Um,
Yeah.
that this one hit hard, man. This one hit hard. Not so, of course, any passing, but the way it happened, I'm man, it's upsetting. It's upsetting. Uh, it's like in the movie Jay Kelly. All our memories are movies, right? You something happens like this, or a director passes, and then automatically you just think of his movies, and then where you were at that time when you first watched his movies, and uh, so very upsetting. What's on your mind, man?
No, you said it, man. Wesley texted us the news last night. I don't know if you'd already heard by then, but that was the first I'd heard about it, and it really shocked me because, like you said, the way it happened, a homicide, a murder. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like he's getting the. This would be bad if he just passed away in his sleep because he's got something special. He's a very magical filmmaker. I don't know how to describe just very Hollywood, but like in the best way possible. Just the magic of movies. This guy, he had it. He was touched, and it just feels like it snatched out of your hands. You sort of think, what is he, 78? You're like, we can get two, three, four, maybe more movies out of this guy and bring him on because he's made some good ones. I've seen eight of his, but I liked them all basically. I enjoyed all of them, and some of them are just all timers.
yeah. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about his classics, which, I love, When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, but I actually wanted to steer people to one of his actual underrated gems. I think it's often overlooked. I don't even know if you've seen it. We've never talked about it, but the great Roger Deeper gave it a glowing review of 3.5 out of 4 stars. Have you seen his movie Flipped?
I knew you were gonna say that as quick as you were talking, and I was gonna bring it up if you didn't. Uh, uh, One of the only ones I think that one of the handful that he had written,
Yes.
also, and probably you know,
It's his
it
most pure film, man. Uh,
is. That's the right word for it. Incandescent is a word he uses in the movie to describe the girl next door. Uh, and it's an incandescent movie. Watched it, rented it as a kid when it came out.
yeah,
Watched it twice. Me and my sister both love it. It's one of our favorite movies that we bonded over and always talk about. Rewatched it as an adult. Showed it to Lori. I'm glad you brought that one up.
yeah, it's one of my favorites of his. It's probably I would say it's up there in the top three because it's a coming of age story, and I love those. But it's also about first love,
Uh-huh. And it's
and
about your parents and your grandparents and your family and how you take care of each other. It's pure. You said the exact right word for it.
yeah. So if you're listening and you haven't seen Flipped, highly recommend it. I think it's only available for rent. Which
Rent it.
I think it's worth renting for sure. Don't let the Rotten Tomato score of 50. I think it's 58. Don't let that kind of you know discourage you from checking it out because it really is a very lovely film.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, love Rob Reiner, but we got good news. Also, Dick Van Dyke made it to 100, man.
Yeah, he's joined the Eva Marie Saint Centenarian Club, and was really happy to hear that. But it also had sort of a dismal kismet to it because Rob Reiner's father. Carl Reiner, he
Yes.
created the Dick Van Dyke Show. And it was
Yeah.
just such a strange week of magnoliating circumstance. But I'm glad that he's made it to 100. Glad he's still around.
If
It's
if you had one memory involving Dick Van Dyke, what is one memory you have?
ah, well, I watched his show growing up, quite a bit, and enjoyed it. And there's Mary Poppins, which was a big deal when we were coming up. I used to also watch a lot of his show, Diagnosis Murder, which ran for a while, where he played like an amateur detective who was a doctor. Um, it's shoot. I watched him in this random movie one time called Fitzwilly on TCM that I
Yeah.
liked with Barbara Feldon in it. Um, eh, he's in Night at the Museum. I mean, he's always been there. He's
Yeah.
great.
So, you mentioned Diagnosis Murder. So, Um, with the biggest memory I have of Dick Van Dyke is, so we grew up very poor, right? We for a long time we lived in like a one bedroom house. We slept on a queen size bed, me, my two brothers, and my mom and dad. We had one of those box TVs with those antennas, which
Mhm. Mhm.
those old antennas, and so we only had like a select few channels, and even then, a lot of the channels weren't clear. So one of the channels was PAX 44. Do you remember
Yep.
PAX
Yep.
44?
Yep. Dude, sometimes I'll go on YouTube and watch those bumpers for PAX.
Yeah. So we used to our show, as much sadness that we may have had in our life, growing up, we had diagnosis murder. And so my family, we would just lay there at night, and uh, have watch diagnosis murder. And then, we'd have to, my dad or my mom would tell us, oh, move the antenna this way. That way, we could see, see it better. So we would be watching it in that way. But that's a memory I always hold dear. I miss those days, just us just hanging out, Uh, but that's what I relate Dick Van Dyke to. Uh,
Dude, that's special. Yeah, man, we totally used to watch that too. And he had some like latter day ones. And so his son was on that
yeah,
program a lot too
he was
with
on
him.
he
And
was on there.
but PAX turned into Ion, I think. Your story reminds me of this comic I read one time. I think Matt Groening, the guy that made Simpsons, wrote this comic, and it was like a pitch black. The first cell was pitch black with these white eyeballs, and there was a speech bubble that was like, "Man, everything's going to hell outside. It's planet screwed. Did you get the news?" And then the next panel's like, this it's not even worth it. It's terrible out here." And then the third final panel is the TV coming on, and
Yeah.
he's like, "But this is nice."
I love that.
So
I've never
sometimes
seen
you
that.
watch a
So
little TV. I'll find that comic for you.
yeah, send it to me. So man, what have you watched?
Oh
Um,
gosh, I don't even know where to start. I guess I could start here, since I know you wanted to talk about it. Finished Cloud last night.
oh, you finished Cloud. Okay.
Finished Cloud.
All right. Well, go ahead. Tell me.
Well, let me just start with. So the premise is, look. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. Okay, I wasn't really expecting what we got. Okay, it's basically is a guy who's doing some online sales. He like flips products, and doesn't worry too much about where these products come from or their quality. He just buys them and flips them online. Okay, a lot of people do this. It's totally normal kind of entrepreneurial activity, I guess. I don't know if the legality of it in the country that it's set. What country is it? Japan?
I think it's not Japan. I think it's Korea or
Okay. Well, I didn't know, but
I'm
it
not
has
sure. I'm
more
not
of
sure.
the sites he's on have more of a black markety type vibe to them. So I'm not sure if there's different laws there, but it's basically he's doing what in my mind is like eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, buy things in bulk at cost and then try to turn a profit on them. He's squeaking by. But what happens is he starts to make some enemies who are discouraged that they're getting less than quality products, or maybe that he's you do get the impression in the first scene that he's maybe making some of these products out to be more than they are, and so he gets doxxed. Okay, but it just kind of spirals out of control. I mean, what are you thinking with this movie, Sam? I mean, I've got more to say, but I'm curious, like your impressions of it as you started it, and as the
So
story developed.
this movie, the reason why I push you to watch it is because I could not, like, I think I told you in one of the episodes where I just couldn't fall asleep, right? I just kept thinking about it, right?
Uh-huh.
There was something so eerie about it, which made sense because of the director, right? Um, but I started doing my research, right? Because I just was like, man, there's something here that I just cannot pinpoint, you know?
Mm,
And
mm.
so I did my research, and well, and it made sense. And this is my theory. This is what the director has stated, and I'd have to go find where I found it. But
Mm.
the director has stated that this is a guy who uh, I don't know if you know his assistant. Remember the assistant, the one that
Yeah,
helps
oh
him.
yeah.
So the assistant is actually a demon.
Okay, look, because I was gonna say, like, if you're sitting through this movie on autopilot, the last 60 seconds of the movie will make you sit up straight in your chair.
Yes,
Like, I mean,
that's the
I
point.
haven't had an icy claw that much in my heart from a movie since in a long time.
That's the point. Yep, that's the point, dude. That's the point.
I mean, what you're saying makes perfect sense. And look, there is a very good chance that, and I don't think someone will if they see the end, but there is a very good chance that you watch this movie and be like, well, that was pretty simple, that was pretty straightforward. That was kind of, it had kind of a cool shoot at the end, but not a lot going on there, pretty
Yeah.
textbook. But like, if you get what you just said, which just sends chills up my spine. And I mean, the last scene lays it on a little thick,
Oh, it was a
in a
point.
good way.
Here's another thing, and I'm gonna tell you this, dude. The movie is something else I learned. The movie is about an addict, a gambler. He's basically a gambler, right?
Well,
He
yeah, a
he
little bit. And
he
you
he,
get him in the beginning. He's buying things in
he
bulk, and they're
he's an
like, "This
addict.
may not even turn a profit." And he's like, "Well, I just do things by intuition. I do things by instinct." Definitely gambler coded, like you're saying.
Yeah,
But
he
I think that's it's almost misleading to like think of this as a gambler picture and it's kind of inhabiting that
well,
archetype. I think,
that's what I mean when I told you this is not the gambler movie that you would think it is. It's not the normal gambling movie. And one of the lines that I'll just call him the demon, his assistant tells him, just focus on making money.
yeah.
You-
Well,
Just focus on making money. That's it. So he
and
says,
then he basically makes a promise that the Satan makes to the Jesus when he's tempting him in the wilderness. He's like, nothing's going to be impossible for you. You're going to have unlimited stuff. Um, but the reason I steer away from just looking at this guy as a gambler, to me, the gambler archetype kind of is beating down a different path. What I thought was so chilling about this movie was this line he says when he's getting harangued by all of these guys after he's been doxxed, and he says, "Am I really such a bad guy? Am I really so bad?" And it's like, ooh, because like the things that he's doing, you can almost be like, come on. I mean, look, that's just how the system works, like,
yeah,
buyer beware. You're making excuses for him, and then by the time you get around to it, you're like, oh, that is I. So I talked earlier in the year when I first saw Sinners. We were talking about it on the show. I was like, I was interested. I thought maybe this was going to be one of those movies that actually took sin seriously, and kind of like observes how it snowballs, but I didn't really think it did. This movie does. This movie's like, it's one compromise, then the next compromise, then the next compromise,
yeah.
and that's how you get to hell.
You,
It's.
You,
which
you
was a line from the movie.
you know, it's funny, not to stay on the whole gambling kind of route or addict route, right?
Hmm.
But I read that someone said that the last hour, which is it's pure chaos, right? It's a whole big
Hmm.
shootout.
Hmm.
Is very much like a like a intervention in a way, like one
Well,
long
that's where you
intervention.
recontextualize, the girlfriend and the people that are coming to get their revenge in a different way when you look at it that way. Yeah, that's a cool way to look at it. But
What were your
my
thoughts
gosh,
on the
dude,
girlfriend?
that's tough. You really got to think about it. I don't like, this intervention angle kind of, because they're seen as negative forces, they're seen as villains, and the assistant is seen as the helper. I mean, and he's so freaking cool. Like, I love that guy. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
he
your
was such a
assistant.
cool
I got your
character.
back. He's like, I got your back. I'm your assistant. I'm loyal. If you need help, call me. It's just, there's just, it's a parable. I mean, it's very, very deep, and it's
Yeah,
very, very important. Um, so yeah, this is a must see. I think, and be alert when you're watching this movie. It's because it's got a lot to offer. It's got layers on layers,
yeah.
but it's also simple.
There. That's what's so crazy about it. And I liked what you said. The last 60 seconds, it's gonna make you sit up. You know, it's like, oh, what's going on? Where they're just floating in the car in the
My
clouds.
blood ran cold, man. Uh, my
What do
blood
you
ran
think it
cold.
meant? The cloud. Why do you think it's called cloud?
Okay, so I was trying to parse it out as I went. They actually do name they use the word cloud at some point. And it seemed like more of a in a throwaway capacity. As I was going, I was like, cloud, that's very internety,
Yeah,
language, like I feel like that's a way to lose your soul. Is just being in this internet. It's like the Tower of Babel, there's no language that's off limits to us. There's nothing we can't. It's the close. I used to say height is the closest a person gets to omniscience, right? Because you climb to the top of a building and you could
yeah,
see far, and I'm like, that's as good as we can get. We can see as much as we can see with what little focus we can see. But then you get in front of a computer screen, you open this window, you open that window, you see this security camera, you see that security camera, you see what's happening in this side of the world, you see what's happening in this language. It translates it for you. Like, this is the new closest we get to omniscience. And so I thought maybe it was related to that, but I'm not really sure. What did you think?
I mean, I thought the same. And you said, it's funny. You said, it was like in the Bible where it said the city of, was it Babylon? The one
Babel,
where,
the Tower of Babel, where they're trying to buid a tower to heaven and
but
their
they're,
languages get confused.
what's the city where God,
Oh, Sodom and Gomorrah, maybe?
there's another one. It might be that, man. I thought of it as like the internet is now the modern day. Uh,
Babylon.
yeah, it's like the modern day where everything is just in our grasp. There's sin everywhere, you
Hedonism.
know?
But the thing is, what I think is so important, man, is that it's not a hedonistic, movie that you usually associate with Babylon. It's very quiet. He's just kind of doing his thing. Um, so I feel like that's missed a lot. In bringing up So Torn that I mentioned the other day, the Coen Brothers Disney Channel movie, there's like a little moment in it, and I'm not gonna spoil it if you end up watching it, but I think there's another moment in that for viewers to catch on to. It's like, it's the little things, it's the little compromises. It's like, what could you avoid if you just did the right thing here? And I think about that every day. I was thinking about that this morning. Your mind gets off track. You're like, I know, uh, why don't I live any way I want? Or this is no big deal. This won't hurt anything. There's always these little bitty compromises in front of you, right? And it's like, if it's not going to hurt anybody, it's not going to affect anybody. It's just going to make me a little happier, or advance me a little bit more. And you're like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Movies like this make you think about that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why I wanted you to check it out because I knew it was going to be very challenging and I knew all the biblical aspects of it where it's like, okay, this movie isn't all that it seems to be, you know.
I
And
wish
yes,
I could remember what the exact quota was when I think the assistant uses the word cloud at some point. And I can't remember exactly what context.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up on IMDb. Hopefully, it's in one of the quotes. But so what are your overall thoughts? Your brief overall thoughts on it after seeing it? Like,
Just that people should watch it. It's a parable, and parables are great because they're simple and profound. And you could watch this movie as a straight up, you know, suspense, or you could see it for what it's meant to be, which is deeply affecting a cautionary tale.
yeah. So there you go, Cloud. For me, I don't know about Mitch, but for me, I think it's one of the best films of 2025. It's easily one of the more challenging ones, and I do agree with Mitch. And as although I love Sinners, I do think this movie succeeds where Sinners kind of fails. Uh, but yeah, I think you should definitely check it out. Uh, one more thing, just pay attention, okay? Pay attention. It's a very simple film. It's intense. I was gripped throughout, man. I was gripped throughout. I was like, okay, where is this going? Where is this going?
Yeah, where's this going? That is a question you think a lot in this movie. Good
I
pick,
could
Sam.
I could never tell like from one scene to the next. I was always surprised by it. And that's rare because usually I can predict, okay, this is where it's going to go. But this movie, I was very surprised by it. So I know we only got a little bit, but I briefly wanted to mention two movies. The first one, I rewatched Traffic. Uh, my
Oh,
God, man, I love Traffic, dude. I love Traffic, man.
wait, it's the Soderbergh?
The Soderbergh one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of the greatest movies of the 21st century, man. I didn't realize how much I love this movie until rewatching it this past weekend. It is an incredible film. I think it should have won Best Picture. I don't know what won that year. I think was it Gladiator? I can't.
Maybe. But he won Best Director, right?
He did
For
win
this.
Best Director, yes. And then
Well, I
he's
mean, yeah, that's a good movie. I don't think I feel as strongly about it as you do, but watched it recently for the first time, and I agree that it's good.
yeah, I think that one's an incredible film. And then me, my brother Levi, and Vanessa, we watched Castaway last night.
Nice.
Yeah,
The
man. Of
best
course,
Zemeckis, maybe? I don't know.
I I don't know a lot. I still love Forrest Gump. I love the Polar Express.
I'm not as
Um,
big on the Polar Express. Me and Lori have been arguing about this. It, to
wait,
her,
wait.
it's very Christmas, but to me, I just don't feel it in the same way. I mean, I like it okay, but it's just not like a Christmas staple to me.
I'm sorry, Mitch, but Lori's right in this situation.
Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, Polar Express is one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. It's so creepy, but it's also so beautiful, and it's so
The
funny
Uncanny
too.
Valley doesn't bother me. I don't even think about it when I watch it. Like, I like the animation for that kind of story, and I like that Josh Groban track they play in the end. Believe it's a good Christmas song. Should get more radio time.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, I love Polar Express. I really love Castaway. I think I loved it more this time around
I
watching
have a
it.
sneaker Zemeckis favorite. I really think my favorite might be Flight. Push comes to shove.
Yeah, yeah, it's in my top three, dude. Flight. I watched that with my brother in theaters. Oh man, such a good movie, man.
Come on, dude. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, such a good movie. Denzel should have won best actor for that. That was and to be honest, dude, I think he was better in that than he was in Training Day.
What makes a movie star? Okay, me and my landlord were arguing about this. We were talking about Jake Kelly. It was, George Clooney, uncontested. He's one of the last movie stars. But I was like, oh, Tom Cruise, Denzel. He's like, no, no, no. I mean, he's basically a movie star is like someone that your wives fantasize about having as their husband. And I was like, maybe not Tom Cruise. Maybe he's too offbeat to fit that metric. But Denzel, I think, probably fits that category. I suggested that a movie star was someone who could continue to be cast by 20-year-old alongside 20-year-old love interests long into their
Yeah.
60s.
Oh yeah. It's all about charisma, dude. That's what I think. Charisma. Denzel has that charisma.
Yep.
And Mitch, today is a special episode to finish everything off. Today is going to be our 70th
You're
episode.
kidding.
Our
Good grief,
70th.
man.
Our
We talk too
70.
much.
We 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 talk too much about movies, man. I mean, I love it, dude. I love it. Mitch, for tomorrow's episode, just to give a little tease, were you able to? Because I still have a lot to talk about. But were you able to watch the new Knives Out or no?
No, no, I haven't been able to yet. We finished Cloud last night, so I'm assuming Knives Out is next on the docket. But Lori may get the Christmas bug and want to detour.
Okay, all right then, no problem. But regardless, I still got quite a bit that I'd like to talk about, but we can talk about that tomorrow, dude.
Looking forward to it, man.
All
Rest in
right,
peace,
man.
Rob Reiner.
Yes, sir.